Okay, should be back. Should be back. Let's find out. Hopefully we're back. I'm not dropping any frames now. Sorry about that though. It always cuts me off in the middle of a sentence as well. It's really annoying. I'm just going to give it... Let me transition back over. Might as well. I'm just going to give it a minute while people get back in and let me know they're here. I've lowered the frame rate down to 30 now, and I've also lowered the bit rate down to 5 megabits per second to see if that helps. I'll be keeping a close eye on things. We're back. I really don't like the way YouTube just kills the stream. The way it does. I've always found that really annoying. When I'm just streaming directly to YouTube, it'll just come up with like constant buffering. But when I'm doing it through Restream, as soon as Restream stops receiving video, it just treats it as if I've ended the stream. And I think what it should do is wait for me to click the end stream button. I didn't hear anything you said. It crashed after I posted the comment. Okay, so all I said was the southeastern main line runs between Buntbourne Parkway and Drentbourne Rotea. The Grand Central line runs between Drentbourne Rotea and is it Tarnway and Funston where it connects? I think it is. Where it connects up again. So Grand Central and Central trains will run along the Grand Central main line. Sometimes running up... hang on. Let me get this right. It might need more conversation, so don't take this all literally right now. But I would say... I swear the clock on my preview there just went down. It went like 2:01 and then it went back down to 2 again. Let's say Grand Central, the franchise would be between Kidlinghatton Airport Parkway and... Actually, how's it going to get there? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Let's say Fort Flonwood Central and Drentbourne for now. And then it could be extended north, south, east, west in the future. I think that would be better. Okay, on with the game. I'm getting some serious... No frame drops, but I'm getting FPS drops. I might need to do some clearing out on my PC. Let me open Task Manager a second. I just want to monitor exactly what's going on. So right now, according to this, Football Manager is using 0.3% of the CPU and 8.9% of the GPU and 1.6 megabits, 1.6 gigabits of the RAM. Streamlabs OBS is using 15% of the CPU, 4% of the GPU, and nearly 2 gigabytes of memory. Streamlabs is using more PC than the game is. I'm not sure if that's the right way around. Yeah, hopefully I answered your question about Grand Central. Because it's quite new still, it's going to be, even though it covers quite a big distance, in terms of franchise size, it's actually going to be one of the smaller ones, because there's not going to be much deviation off that main line. Plus it has to share that main line with cross-country and cross-region as well. Danny Clifton has left. That's not good. Let me see if I can get Dinsmore in to replace him. Or Parsons. Maybe both. Robbie Parsons. Is the stream buffering? I don't know what's going on with the stream. It's really ruining my time though, streaming, having to constantly fix these technical issues. And I can't imagine it's much better for you guys trying to watch through all of this as well. For some reason I can't change any of my encoding settings on here, but I can on OBS normal. How annoying. Oh, is it not buffering? I don't know then. I'm constantly getting warnings from YouTube that it's not receiving enough video. Is YouTube just shit? Is that the problem? It would explain a lot. I think I'm just going to stream at 30 FPS from now on. The amount of new assets I've added, Skylines is going to be an adventure, shall we say, the next time I load it up. I'm thinking of replacing the airport with an asset that I found. Or at least replacing some of the airport with an asset I found. Because it's got runway layouts and everything. But we'll see about that. I might just add the terminals in and not worry about the rest. Got lots of players leaving on trial. Lots of players leaving on free transfers now as well. You have actually left. Seems logical. YouTube is having a tantrum. It's just the fact that, you know, Twitch can have its problems and it can buffer, but normally when it buffers, like, it doesn't kill your stream. The stream stays up. It just buffers. Sometimes, like before on streaming on Twitch when I did the M4J Racing series, sometimes OBS would crash, or the connection would completely die and I'd have to restart the stream. Great thing with Twitch is it's always an open-ended stream, so you can end it and restart it immediately and it'll just pick up where you left off. It'll save it as two separate videos, but there won't be a break. Whereas on YouTube, as soon as this stream ends, the one you're on now, I have to go into the stream manager and make a whole new stream with date and time and everything, and then get a link and then post that in the Discord and on Restream so that it goes out on social media. And it's just that. It's so frustrating because I'm already pissed off that the stream crashed. And then I've got to set up a whole new stream and link it to you guys. So you then have to go to a whole new page on YouTube just to be able to watch the stream that you were watching 5 minutes previously. How dumb is that? Oh, I'm glad I switched my AC off then, because the exhaust pipe just fell from my window. Jed Heritage has signed a new deal. That's nice. Can I loan you out? Yes. So this is the first time I've seen this window as well. Wow. Imagine if I loaned him to like South America. How good would he be when he came back? Speaks fluent Spanish and knows how to do a rainbow flick. Yeah, I hate it when YouTube just kills the stream. Shouldn't do that. When I stream directly to YouTube, the reason I like streaming to YouTube is because I don't have to wait for the go live button to light up blue. Restream just automatically triggers the stream. Because I remember before the M4J network, I'd be 10 minutes into a stream and the go live button still wouldn't have activated. But the downside is, because I'm streaming to Restream, which is then streaming to YouTube and Twitch, as soon as Restream has some problems, which it does have, like all websites do, YouTube just kills the stream, because it's not getting footage anymore, so it just thinks the stream's ended. So I should have to click the end stream button, even though I don't have to click the go live button. Grand Central is the one via Denston, and the one via Tonway is Southeastern. But the Grand Central thing makes sense. So wait, the line that goes west from Denston... Oh! I got them mixed up, didn't I? So Grand Central is the one that goes from Buntbourne to Drentbourne via Denston. And Southeastern goes from Tarnway and Funston to Drentbourne via Waterside Airport? That must be on that line. And Hartberg, because where the branch goes off down to Tuningly, that's also the Southeastern main line. I think that's right. I need the game open in front of me. That's the thing. Or I need to pop this stuff down somewhere. That's why this map is really useful, by the way, because it's as much of a benefit to me as it is to you guys, being able to remember where things are. Yeah, because Grand Central is the... I remember connecting it up now to Bunbourne by that little junction that has since been rebuilt and now looks a lot nicer, thankfully. But yeah, that like the franchise was created because not many other services would in those lines. So Central and Grand Central are probably going to use some of the other lesser used lines around the area. So like Nut Hill, the line that runs through Nut Hill up to what was the station we built in one of the last stream? Was it streams? No, one of the last time lapses down the east coast. It wasn't Milia, it was the other one. It wasn't Sewer Milia. The other junction station, that line that runs to Nut Hill, that might be Central trains as well. Probably won't be Grand Central, but it might be Central trains. Does Southeastern and Guard City Southeastern go via Grand Central? You might have to check the timetables for that, the service schedules, because I think one does. Most of the Guard City Southeastern services will use the Southeastern main line. The Southeastern services from Guard City to Bar City use, I think that's also the Southeastern main line. And then maybe one. Best to check the service schedules on that one. Yeah, it's not Suam that I'm thinking of, it's the other junction station. The first one that we built. I say we, the royal we. The first station that was built. Although, no, Suam doesn't have a junction like that, does it? Right, we need a new striker. Maybe Stokes? Can Macintosh play up front? Sort of. How tall are you? I mean, height isn't everything. You're less than 6 foot. Height isn't everything to be a target man. Strength is mostly the stat. I think I might put you as a pressing forward then. So a pressing forward is kind of like the G-Gem press. So they're constantly closing down the defending team. Yeah, if you take some risks, that's fine. And you are going to be the new 424. Yeah, replace that. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Hopefully Walker comes back from injury soon, 3 to 6 weeks, and he can play up front alongside Hamilton. Oh yeah, Willard Innocent needs to be swapped out. Let's put Navarro in. There we go. Who's my substitute that I've selected outside the... Oh, Toyn. Yeah, go to you. Let's play. At some point, I'm going to have a sit down and a proper look at the map and come up with which franchises use which routes. Because the route names used to tie in with the franchise names. Like the Great Western main line is predominantly served by the Great Western franchise. But because now Great Western also uses the South Western line down through Charwood, or down to Charwood, plus other little branch lines here or there, it's hard to keep track now. What is the next stream? So there will be a poll running this evening that will end at midnight, where you guys will vote. George beat me to it. Where you guys will be able to vote for what game. So I'll come up with some choices. I might add a couple that haven't been streamed in a while, like Planet Coaster, for example. There is still an episode of Global Ventures. That's good goal, Gordon. Nice volley. There is still an episode of Global Ventures that hasn't been edited yet, which was meant to have been done for today. Because I had some stuff to sort out yesterday, I couldn't get it done in time. So Planet Coaster might be added. Space Engineers is going to go on the list because Bob asked me a long time ago now to do Space Engineers, and I might invite you guys, a couple of you guys on to join in with that as well if you have the game. Plus other games, because we've kind of dominated it with Motorsport Manager, City Skylines, Minecraft and Football Manager, so I'd like to do a few things that we haven't seen yet. I might do an other with the suggestion box. Bloody hell. That was a shot and a half. But the stream will be tomorrow at 3 PM BST. So I don't know what that is in North America. Hey Bob, I was just mentioning you. I'm saying Space Engineers might be streamed tomorrow. And if it is, then viewers will be able to join. I think I was considering starting another new game, because they've introduced a new planet or something. Was it Titan? They introduced like a snowy planet. So I might start a new game just so we can see that as well. We didn't really get much done in the old game, because I spent most of the time dicking around with pistons trying to get them to work. I do need to know the exact routes for each franchise. I mean, the game is available for you to load up and look. The latest version of the map is on the website, and if you're not sure of anything, ask questions. But most of the routes are quite self-explanatory. And there's also the information sheets that has the names of the routes. Because it's only the routes that are currently populated where they deviate from their names. Some of the older routes, like the original Southeastern City Connects as well, for example, that's pretty much exactly the same as it used to be. I'd noticed on the map that you had City Connects using some of the overground lines, and I thought originally we'd agreed not to do that. However, looking at it, particularly the one that runs down to, is it Garning Head? The one that runs along the overground line that goes south of Shoreham Junction. I actually kind of like that idea, so I think we'll be keeping that. But yeah, it's one of these things I can't really micromanage it a lot because I'm busy doing other things. So it's only if you're really, really unsure, then ask me. Otherwise, I trust your judgment with a lot of it. That was a good goal from their guy then. That'd be a good goal. Ran onto it. Very crisp first time shot. I'm a big fan of goals like that. It's a good ball forward if Gordon... Oh no, Gordon's gone off, hasn't he? Oh no, Gordon is still on. Good run from Sadie though. Very strong runner. Good pullback. Send those shots way wide. Tell you what, George, come up with a list of all the routes that you're not sure about, and we'll go through them. That's probably better. Yeah, let's keep this chat going, guys. Nice active chat, always fun. Ooh, crossbar. If anyone has any football-related questions as well, I'll be happy to answer those. I know football isn't everyone's cup of tea. It didn't used to be mine. When I was younger, I used to love playing football, but I used to hate watching it. And it's only when I sort of started entering my teenage years that I really got into football. I think it was around about the time that we started going to watch Stevenage play. That's when I really got into football, and now I'm a bit of a football nerd. Come on, Hatfield. Tonks on for Masendo. Masendo needs to get his shooting boots on. He's missing a lot of golden chances. Alright, free kick. Gordon takes, back post. The goal's been given to Hamilton. What actually happened there? Is it like the Tonks goal from the last game? Headed back across the goal. Yeah, basically just bounced off and went in. I'll take it. 3-1. Again, that's quite new for this year. Normally in the past that would have always been cleared by the defence. So it's nice that they're mixing it up. Also a good example of what I was saying in the tactics window about cross it to the back post, head it back across. Almost a simple tap in, wasn't quite. Tackle him. Alright, good save. I think what I might do in future, if Restream goes down and it kills the YouTube stream, I might just post a link to my Twitch and carry on with that stream. Just so I don't have to set up a new one on YouTube each time. We'll say that it starts off on both, and if the YouTube one dies, so be it. Who came on there? Herbert came on for... Oh, Gordon. That's who went on. Let's try to work it out then. Tackle Sadie. Navarro to Pament. Go on, go for a little run with it. Or do that. That's a nice ball though. Navarro to Vincent. That's a great first timer. Herbert on it. Defender tried to bring him down there. Hamilton goes for goal. Good save. I thought for a second that was going in. Alright, 7 minutes left. This should be a win. I can't see us throwing this away now, surely not. And this will put us 11 points clear. There's 38 matches this season, there's 20 teams in this league. So we're basically playing a full season this time. We're not even halfway through the season yet. Earlier on I was looking to see what are my targets for this season, and I thought, okay, let's try and finish the season today. And then I realised how many teams there were, and we're not even halfway through yet. And I thought, okay, maybe that's not going to be possible. But we could still, you know, rocket through as many of the matches as possible. I like to try and do like 10 matches in a stream, if I can. Yeah, I can stream for another hour or so. I just thought as well, George, as well as if you're not sure of a franchise for now, you can mark it on the map, but do it in like black or white to make it so that you can easily recolor that line once you know what franchise it is. Just so it's still on the map, and then if you show me the map, I can see roughly where it runs and then work backwards from that. Because when you... Like when I suddenly get asked what franchise runs through such and such, my first question is always, where's that again? It's been so long since I've opened the game and actually had a look. Even things like Plindon Junction the other day you mentioned, and I had to remind myself where that was. Someone in the rail forums suggests that Chiltern should only run from London to Banbury and Oxford. Why? People on the rail forums need to realise that they're not experts. This isn't the same guy that talked about Crossrail being abandoned, is it? Why would Chiltern are frequently the best train operator in the country? Why should they have services taken away from them? If anything, they should have services given to them. What a dumb suggestion. But, I mean, why? What about places like Leamington Spa? That's north of Banbury, isn't it? How are people going to get there? Just... it's this thing of people trying to change things for the sake of change. You'll probably find that's quite you know, a person that has to be right about everything. And they go, oh, I know, why don't we do this? And then when someone calls them out on how ludicrous that is, they get all defensive. Frankly, if that was me, I'd probably get banned from the rail forums because I just keep calling people idiots all the time. It's like I was watching a video the other day about the history of graphics in F1. So the little things that come up at the side of the screen telling you who's in what position. And there was one year where the previous year the graphics were absolutely fine, nothing wrong with them. And then they changed it for the next season purely for the sake of having something different. And they completely buggered it up. It was awful. And the season after that, they changed it again because it was so bad. What a pointless thing. Why not just leave it how it was? Didn't have to change it. So, I mean, obviously London to Birmingham, the landscape for that is going to change a lot when High Speed 2 opens. But then you might as well say that Avanti should no longer serve Birmingham because, you know, they're route duplication as well. Literally in that case, because it's Euston to Birmingham. But Chiltern are like the workhorses of the London to Birmingham route. They're not claiming to be the most luxurious or the fastest, but they are most often voted the best out of all the London to Birmingham routes, of which there are 2 actually, so they're the best of 2, but they will become the best of 3. That's just a really dumb suggestion. Really dumb, not thought through at all. Less people might travel directly from London to Birmingham on Chiltern, but more people might get on at Oxford, not Oxford, more people might get on Banbury, or Leamington Spa, or Warwick. So that end of the line might become more populated of people heading up to Birmingham to then get High Speed 2 down to London. It's that thing of, it's like when I head north up the M1, I actually drive south down the A1 first to the M25, then round to the M1 and then north. Sometimes you travel in the opposite direction to the one you want to go in and it ends up being faster. But that's just me. Apparently football in Spain might be returning soon. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. They have the best interiors, in my opinion. I said it might get more stops on that route. I think they've, I think Chiltern just, I mean, they're the oldest continuous operator as well. Weren't they one of the first franchises awarded, and they've still got it now? You look at how many other companies have come and gone in that time. I like Chiltern. I've always liked Chiltern. They're just, they don't make a big song and dance about what they do. They just do their job and they do it very, very well. They don't have these massive media events for new trains or anything like that. They just get on with the job. And that's really what matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how good your PR people are. It matters how good your service is. It's something that I've noticed a lot with whole trains now as well. They've done a bit of razzmatazz lately, but before that they were just what's the word? I nearly said it then. Unsung heroes, basically. They just put on a really good service. I wish I had an excuse to go to Birmingham just so I could buy Chiltern. And they're trailblazers for how to reuse old trains. They got the old Turbo Stars. They got old network of turbos as well. They might replace them in the near future. I hope they don't, because they're still perfectly good trains. But you don't necessarily know how old they are when you get on board. They're not afraid to do throwbacks as well. Like, they still have their livery that's partially inspired by Network Southeast. They tie into that little nostalgia trend as well. I like them. I really like them. I think leave them alone. Don't take stuff away from them. If anything, their model should be the basis for how other franchises are operated. Even the way that they helped deliver the new service to Oxford is pretty much bang on time and under budget, wasn't it? And they've, you know, the route through Bicester Village is obviously very popular, and the station was rebuilt for that purpose. But the fact that they now offer that regular service through there, it's spurring growth in that part of Oxfordshire. They're always the exception to what many people think of the railways, and actually do a very decent job. Yeah. They've just been getting on with it. That's the thing, they've just been getting on with it. All my youth players are being linked with other teams. In fact, even my goalkeeper, backup goalkeeper's being linked. Cancel you. Because this guy here, he's only Silver Star at the moment, but he has the potential to be really good in the future. I might loan you out instead of just sending you out on trial all the time. So a team can have you and play you regularly all season. Something tells me Chiltern was the first franchise to be awarded, but I don't think it was. That'd be an interesting piece of history, though. What was the first franchise? Oh, it must be rail freight, thinking about it. Probably Freightliner or something like that. It's not passenger like people think. Because wasn't the old rail freight division of BR the first sold off? So it's not a franchise necessarily, but it'd be the first bit of BR to no longer exist. It's probably one of those trick trivia questions. Southwest was first. Okay. Also the fact, I mean, Chiltern shared tracks with the Metropolitan line for most of their route up to Amersham. There's no knock-on delays or anything like that. You never hear of a Metropolitan train held up because Chiltern can't do their jobs properly. Okay, Southwest was the first passenger. I have a feeling it's either Freightliner or EWS might have been the first. So would that have been Southwest Trains? BREL. Oh yeah, I suppose BREL. Oh, it was funny. When I was watching the Formula E races the other day, like, I forget that ABB still exists as a company. So they sponsor, or I don't know if they sponsor Formula E or if they just had sponsorship banners around the track. And every time I saw ABB, I was just thinking, huh, they made the networkers. It's a really sad thing. They took over from BREL for I think it was the second or third batch of networkers. It's a really nerdy, geeky fact, but I've always associated ABB with train building, but they're just a nerd. They manufacture electrical equipment. I think they're Swiss as well, ABB. I want to check that, actually. Yes, Swiss. Swiss/Swedish. And they are the Formula E title sponsor. They also make trolley buses. Oh wow, in Geneva. Well, there you go. When your life comes full circle. I'm just trying to find out where it mentions train building. I'm sure they built some of the networkers. Alright, next match. So I'm going to swap Sadie for Macintosh. Sadie, you're going to be a pressing forward, set to defend, I guess. You could be a poacher, now set to attack. So we're going to go a bit more attacking this time. I'll have you shoot more often, I don't mind that. Someone got really angry a year ago because according to them, High Speed 2 only serves London to Birmingham to Manchester, Leeds, Crewe, Sheffield, nothing else, even though I showed him 6 documents that said otherwise. It's really, speaking from personal experience, it's best just to not argue with these people and let them believe their misconceptions, because eventually they'll make themselves look stupid and you don't need to bother yourself with that kind of idiocy. Technically, the High Speed 2 route serves those cities. I was checking they're all cities. Crewe isn't a city, is it? Crewe's a town. All the others are cities. But yeah, there'll be classic compatible trains that will then run onwards to places like Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle. So they're half right. The route serves those places. But even then, Crewe, it turns from high speed into classic just south of Crewe, or if they build the new station just north of Crewe. I kind of think that High Speed 2, if it is still going to be going ahead in full, inverted commas, I think they need to scale it back a little bit. Like, if you're serving Manchester on your own line, maybe don't go to Crewe. Because, you know, you kind of want to you want to provoke rail growth on other parts of the network, and if you're then just going to serve high speed everywhere, there's no point in keeping some of the other stuff. So then you do have that argument of what's the point of having Chiltern go from London to Birmingham if High Speed 2 and the West Coast Main Line does the same thing. So you want there to be a reason to use some of these other lines still. I've never liked the Crewe idea. I think it joins a bit too far south. I think you need to go a little bit further north, maybe closer to Carlisle, before it joins up again. Because otherwise, half the route between London and Glasgow is still on the West Coast Main Line, which is why the time differences aren't that great. Whereas if you join it up again at Carlisle, for example, it's like 2/3 to... Yeah, it's about 2/3, isn't it, between London and Glasgow? Maybe even cross into Scotland and connect at Carstairs. I've always felt like the Crewe idea was just because Crewe's a major junction, therefore High Speed 2 should serve it. But you can quite easily go from Crewe to Manchester and catch a high speed train from there. This was a good attempt for Hamilton. I've just realised I spent ages talking about railways and completely forgot that I was playing football. Shot wide, but not bad. Don't mind him having a go from there, because you never know. I need to sign another centre-back, which is something I never thought I'd say. I mean, Wara, I suppose. No, not Wara. The other guy, Weaver. He'll be back from suspension by now. Oh, that was a good goal. Oh, offside. He's been denied a goal there by his teammate being offside. So this one, if I pause it for a second. So what actually happens? He heads it... Okay, so Sadie heads it back to him despite being in an offside position. I thought it was here. I thought Sadie might be offside and blocking the keeper's view. Because these days you're offside if you're interfering with play. Interfering with play can be either causing a defender to clear the ball because of your presence, taking control of the ball yourself, or blocking the line of vision of the goalkeeper in particular, but also other players as well from time to time. Mainly the goalkeeper. And that will mean you're in an offside position and have become active. In which case it's rightly flagged for offside. So I'm not disputing that. I think that the linesman made the right call there. Which is a very unpopular thing to do, to agree with the referees, but there we go. Good touch. What on earth are you doing, Sadie? I thought he was going to give the ball away for a second there. Got a bit worried. Gordon's Cross, Hamilton's header. Oh, that was a tasty header as well. That was unlucky. Alright, I'm just shifting in my chair whilst I'm talking. I need to grab a drink, actually. Give me a second, I've got a drink on my shelf behind me. Let me just grab that, because my throat is getting a bit raw. I need to remember that when I've got music playing, I don't have to talk all the time. It's because I can't hear the music, I forget it's playing. Liverpool has long argued for a link as well, but 400-metre platforms can't fit into Lime Street, and a new terminal is needed for NPR and High Speed 2. Glasgow also requires platform extensions, but can't expand. I think with Glasgow, it's kind of like the joke with some budget airlines is they don't take you to that city necessarily, they take you to the next nearest airport outside that city. So, for example, instead of flying you to one of the London, good ahead of Sadie, instead of flying you to one of the London airports, they might fly you to Bristol, and then you have to commute the rest of the way. That's not a bad model to have for high-speed rail. So, obviously in mainland Europe, most high-speed goes to the city centres. And even in London, you know, Eurostar goes to the centre of London at St Pancras. But if you can't build a high-speed station in the centre of Glasgow, but you've got the capacity for it at somewhere like Motherwell, which is only like 10 to 15 minutes outside of Glasgow if you go on an express train, that's probably a good substitute, you know. It doesn't have to necessarily run into the middle of Glasgow. Edinburgh should be doable, but if you can't do it at Glasgow, you shouldn't really force it. Same with Liverpool. If you can't do the centre of Liverpool, then go to Liverpool South Parkway instead, because it's only a short train ride from Lime Street. Because I do think the plans for Piccadilly and the new station next to Piccadilly I think is smart, and I like the idea for Curzon Street as well. But some of these other places, they're talking about building a whole new station the exact same size as the old one, if not bigger, for high-speed rail, and it just seems like a pointless exercise. That was me opening the bowl. I do it with my teeth. I really shouldn't do that. But I get Liverpool's argument of it's one of the main cities in the UK, so it should be on the route. I think you either run shorter trains that can then go into Lime Street and connect it up with the classic network just outside Liverpool, or you run the high-speed trains to Parkway and do onward travel from there. So that's a really good way of revenue sharing amongst all the franchises then as well, rather than monopolising it. So you end up with a better passenger share. I don't think companies would be happy giving up part of their revenue to a rival, though. Who knows? I do think with places like that, like Lime Street is such a difficult station to work with at the best of times because of its location. There's no way you're going to be able to fit high-speed platforms in there. Imagine a 400-metre long train running through them tunnels. The current plan is to use the existing line and run 200-metre trains into Lime Street. That makes more sense. So then if you go the Crewe route, let's say that you don't run High Speed 2 to Manchester, let's say you connect it up at Crewe. You have a 400-metre train arrive at Crewe, made up of two 200-metre trains, then it splits, one goes to Manchester, one goes to Liverpool. Problem solved. And then the main high-speed route can continue north up towards Carlisle, connect up there, and then again, when you get to somewhere like Carstairs, 200-metre train goes to Glasgow, the other one goes to Edinburgh. Even though the Edinburgh trains are probably going to use the East Coast main line. Edinburgh is probably a bad example. Let's say Glasgow and Falkirk on that side of Scotland, I think it is. Or Motherwell, that's another good example. It's Stops at Motherwell only. I have wondered if these high-speed trains are a little too long. 400 metres is quite long for a train. How long are Eurostars? Let's have a look. How long is a Eurostar? Not the journey, you dumb Google. What is the length of a Eurostar train? 394 metres. So it's longer than a Eurostar train, which is 18 carriages. So that is... They're the original ones by the looks of things. One second. Rolling stock, that's what I'm looking for. Business case shows post phase 1 there could be 24 trains per hour. Eurostar is 400. So I know the new ones, 374s, are slightly longer than the 373s, despite only being 16 carriages instead of 18. Actually, Eurostar is a good example of what I was talking about. It promotes onward travel. So, besides the fact that they now run to Amsterdam, it used to be the three capitals: London, Brussels, Paris. And then occasionally, you know, they'd stop at Lille along the way, or Calais. But it would like force you to then do onward travel via TGV or Thalys or ICE or SNCF. Got the name of them then, which is technically TGV, but depends which part of you're going from. I like that idea of onward travel. Like you don't have to just go on a single train to get from A to B. Sometimes you do have to change. I remember when we went to Disneyland Paris when I was 7. We changed at Lille off the Eurostar and onto a TGV. I think it was an hour it took for our train to arrive, but I just sat there watching all these TGVs going through. It's quite nice. 24 trains per hour into Euston on the West Coast main line. That's a lot of trains. What's that? One every 2.5 minutes? Yeah, if you focus all your operations on as small a number of stations as possible and then promote onward travel, you actually end up running a better service. Whereas if you try and serve everywhere, you end up struggling. I actually can't find on Wikipedia the exact length. I'll take your word for it though. 394 for the 373s and 400 for the 374s. Sounds about right. This is a really old article on Wikipedia. It needs updating. It's talking about things that are happening in 2011 as if they're current. Right, so that's another win for us. Still lots of teams coming in for all my players. Looks like Walker's almost back from injury as well, which is good. Did I see something about Masendo being suspended? Yes. It's not good, is it? Bring you in for the the next match. I'm going to keep looking for central midfielders. That's the one area I'm always going to keep improving. As I've always said, if you're not scoring enough goals, or if you're conceding too many goals, the first place you should always look is your midfield. And you are actually quite good. Can I loan you? Can. Might loan that guy in rather than just outright sign him. Even though we'll still be paying his wages. I might start writing more blog posts to do with things like football and transport and stuff. Has the music stopped? Or is it just really quiet? Oh no, I think it's switching tracks. Yeah, I think it's switching tracks. Never mind. All good. And I'm not saying I'm the fountain of knowledge, by the way. It's just sometimes it's easier to write it in a blog post in a more controlled manner than to spew nonsense in a live stream. And at the end of the day, it's blue sky thinking and coming up with ideas. Not necessarily claiming any of these would work. And I wouldn't last 5 minutes on the forums. I'd probably get banned immediately. The worst thing I always found on forums and Reddit and things like that is when someone uses the expression "back in my day." Because immediately you can just discount everything they're about to say because the world is not the same as it was in 1960. Are we still making money? Yeah, 16,000 last month. I hate that phrase too. Because what that basically is someone who is a bit older than you saying we should do things like when I was your age because that was better. But that's a very subjective thing to say. They're also putting you on the back foot because you don't know what things were like back then. You just have to take it as it's given. It's fun a lot of the time. There's something for everyone. I don't know. Maybe. I tend to avoid... like, this is a personal thing of mine. I hate enthusiasts. That's the thing. I always hate enthusiasts for the... Like, let me try and explain it. When I talk about railways, I have train enthusiasts and rail enthusiasts all saying, you know, I want to talk about that too. But as soon as I say I like steam more than I like diesel and electric, suddenly everyone wants to tell me why I'm wrong. And I'm not wrong. You know, that's my opinion. That's my thoughts and feelings. I don't have to be right or wrong. It's just my opinion. Same with roller coasters. I go on the roller coaster Reddit community, and one person says, I like Steel Vengeance, and the next person says, nah, Steel Vengeance is rubbish, I like Nemesis. And why can't you like both? Why do you have to like one or the other? Why does one have to be better than the other? I really like the expression, it's like comparing apples to oranges, because they're so different in their own respects. The only thing they share in with each other is the fact that they're both roller coasters. They're both very, very different. It's the same with Steam and Diesel. They both ran on the same tracks. That's it. That's the only similarity. Diesel has always been like a really... I guess because I watched Thomas the Tank Engine when I was a kid, and it was always described as dirty diesels. But I've always seen them as like dirty, polluting, noisy, constantly breaking down machinery. And the truth of the matter is, Steam is no better. But, you know, I like Steam. I never grew up in the era of Steam. I went to a lot of heritage railways, and there's just something about the raw power you get from a steam locomotive that, for me, cannot be rivaled. But I am now starting to appreciate other forms of power. And I admit the thrashing of a Class 37 is something that you have to witness firsthand. I've not yet been fortunate enough to have that, I don't think. I'm trying to remember. It might have been on a charter, actually, that was pulled by a 30. But it's to each their own. And there's no right or wrong, but everyone on a forum wants to tell you why you're wrong and why they're right. And I just don't like it. I hate enthusiasts for that exact reason. Just let me like what I like. Sometimes they might be the same as what you like, sometimes not. But let me have that. Don't try and tell me what I can and can't like. And that's another reason why I wouldn't last 5 minutes on the forum. And for the record, I think Nemesis is the best roller coaster in the world for its all-round experience. But there'll be someone in America trying to tell me that a car park coaster is better. You just got to let them have that opinion. Let them come over to England, ride Nemesis for themselves, and then they'll realise that they're wrong, without me having to tell them. It saves a bit of time and effort that way, you know? Right. Walker's not quite back yet. Masendo's suspended. So I think this is the lineup we're going to be sticking with. Tonks and Vincent in midfield. Gordon and Pament on the wings. Hamilton and Sadie up front. Joe, I would really like to find someone in the world who has the same sort of opinions as I do. It's never going to happen. But that'd be awesome. So I open TTD. I feel like I alienate people a lot of the time because of the way I play Open TTD. Even though it's a really big community with thousands and thousands of people. As soon as I talk about speed limits and waypoints and stuff like that, I lose the crowd. You know, people acknowledge the fact I've never seen it played that way before. But then they also acknowledge the fact that they're not interested in that sort of playstyle. That's why I like Global Ventures the most. In terms of making it and also in terms of promoting it. Because you can be as realistic as you like in Planet Coaster. And people actually applaud that rather than contest it. It's a lot more fun. Although, again, it triggers me. People talk about, like very successful Planet Coaster content creators, they talk about realism. And, you know, they build dumpsters around the back of restaurants because it's real. That's what you'd see in an actual theme park. And they build backstage areas and stuff like that. And then they build a brake run on a curve, which, especially a magnetic brake run, you would shear off the magnets on the bottom of the train every time it went around that curve because there isn't enough clearance. And I tear my hair out. Like, why do you spend 6 hours building a dumpster out the back of a restaurant and then you spend 20 seconds building a curve on a brake run? What's wrong with these people? Hamilton offside there. And if you don't think that's a bad thing, just imagine like a 2-foot long piece of metal running through a centimetre wide gap on a 60-degree curve. That's the kind of triggering mentality that I end up with. they build these ridiculous 1,500 foot tall roller coasters because apparently that's realistic. But, you know, they made sure that the drive tyres turned in the right direction at the bottom of the lift hill. That's not realism. I'm very much a realistic gamer. I don't like things that stretch the realms of reality. Even Minecraft, I don't like it when things float in the air. Everything has to be held up, whether gravity is acting on it in the game or not. In my world, gravity is very much a thing and needs to be respected. Oh, Hamilton, you just kicked that guy. Just because you had a goal disallowed doesn't mean you can go around kicking people. You absolute child. Good block there, though. Sadie. Right, Sadie's won it back. Into Gordon. This is why I have my wingers higher up on set pieces. So look how fast they are. The normal conflict when I do these counter-attacks, you normally end up with wingers against fullbacks, and wingers tend to be a little bit quicker than fullbacks. Fullbacks are basically fullbacks because they're not fast enough to be wingers. So you end up with a real advantage. And the rest of the team can then trot forward at their own pace. If the winger has to hold it up for a little bit, they're able to do that. Good goal, Sadie. Great corner from Vincent as well. Look at that, bullet header. That's what happens when you have your strikers attack the post. Defenders are still good because they can head the ball, but more often than not they head it over. Good stuff. Alright, half time, 1-0 up. 10 shots, 5 on target. Not bad. Clear cut chances. 0 according to that. I think that stat is broken. It depends what you define as being a clear cut chance. Go on, Vince. Score a free kick. Ah, unlucky. Good save. I like that from Hammond. It looked like he was going to shoot, and then he just squared it out wide. Vincent's corner. Good header away from the defender. They always find one of their teammates as well, whereas when I do that, it always finds one of the opposition players. Tonks with a good challenge. Tonks with the throw, finds Sadie. I don't know if he meant to evade the defender like that or not, but he did. Oh, Hamilton. Apparently even that's not a clear-cut chance, even though I'm getting a replay of it as if it was a clear-cut chance. Nice ball in from Tonks. Good curl, good whip. Hammond off, McIntosh on. Even though I'm pretty sure he can't play left wing. Apparently he can. Come on, win it back, win it back. Oh, I was afraid he'd play it out there. Look cross. Block. I thought they'd done me there. Is this a good chance? I suppose it was. Could have crept in the top corner. Throw. Little 1-2 with Gordon. It's a nice cross, just Hamilton didn't challenge it. Oh, good volley. That's always a sweet goal as well, when they chest it down and volley it in. Beautiful piece of football there. 11 games without defeat we're heading towards. We're only just getting started too. Look at this. Alright, he didn't chest it there, but the control and then the volley. Pure power. You just hit it as hard as you can and let the placement take care of itself. Christoforou and Troop both coming on as we head towards the defensive formation now. Gordon playing centre back for some reason. No idea why. Keeper's really accurate as well. Picks out, I mean, to be fair, Ajamang did too. Always picked out one of his wide players. Particularly in this situation where you're just trying to hold on to the ball. Literally as I say that. Literally as I said that. He goes and plays it there. What a dope. There you go, full time. Nice 2-0 win against Barkingside. So now we've got the 61 next. They're second place in the league. Normally that would be a stressful situation, but given the points gap, maybe I'm being too cocky. Perhaps a little too cocky. I think I've been really cocky actually. I apologise. What's happened to the chat? Has everyone fallen unconscious or something? Come on, game. Always goes slow when I'm streaming. And I'm not streaming. That's the thing, like, City Skyline today was lagging. When I went back onto it last night, I thought, oh, it's going to go really, really slow. It was as smooth as you like. Smooth 60 FPS the whole way through. Even when I was on the train going through the tunnel out of Subscriber Island. Smooth as you like. Oh, that reminds me. I used one of the stations, rail stations, on Subscriber Island. So we still have the station right at the end of the peninsula, but I put another one near the junction with the trolley. So it's like a little interchange there. And I've also upgraded all that to Shinkansen track. And what else did I do? I changed the passing loops slightly as well. So it looks a little bit different now to how it did before. But I'll show you that properly the next time I stream it. We have won 11 matches in a row in the league. We've scored 41 goals from 19 matches. Nice. My goalkeeper is struggling to settle in. Could you give me a clue as to who that might be? Saw a funny episode of Top Gear where they helped someone with a garden, then build a Top Gear, then Hammond destroys May shed. Oh, that was Sir Steve Redgrave, wasn't it? Oh, what was it called? What was it called? For God's sake. Ground Force. That was it. Top Gear Ground Force. I do remember that. Was it for Comic Relief or Children in Need they did that for? Raymond Connolly. No way were you mates with this guy. I mean, I'll see if I can bring him in. So he's 16 and you're 23. That's illegal, mate. Yeah, I remember James May shouting, "My shed, man. What are you doing, man?" Comic relief, yeah. Top Gear of the Pops as well. That was a good one. I mean, you're shit. You're not a very good player at all. But if you'll make my goalkeeper happy. Are you kidding? You're not getting that. Screw that, sunshine. I'll give you a big signing on fee. And that is all you're getting. See ya. I'd rather have an unhappy goalkeeper than be bankrupt. Right. I was thinking about making a third tactic, but I think I'm not going to do two lots of tactics in the same stream. I like having these backup plans. So, like what I did on FM19 was I had my primary tactic, which was the 4-2-3-1, which we started this stream with, and then if that one was failing during a match, then I would switch to either a 4-2-4 or have a system with 3 at the back and then 4 in midfield and 3 up top. So like, be versatile. That's the main key. Fans don't think he's good. Actually, I don't think you're good enough now. Have I been conned? Can you even play in the... Oh, you can play as a deep line playmaker. Okay. What I'm going to do is set all of these to be scouted. Or actually get analyst report. Just to find out how good they really are. Because I think I got conned a little bit there. Just have a look at these. Sammy Amiobi's a free agent. Oh, wait. Okay. Where are you going? Can I see? Nashville. You're better than the MLS. War Sammy. Oops. Sammy and Shola both played for Newcastle. Oh, he's the loan manager at Newcastle. Tommy is their other brother who started at Newcastle, but he's dropped down into non-league since. He might be worth trying to bring in, you know. Imagine them doing your garden. I would dread to think what it would be like if they tried to do my garden, because you can't fit a car down the alleyway. We got a nice garden though. We don't need it renovated. Obviously that whole thing was scripted. It's not like they turned up at Steve Redgrave's house and trashed it without him knowing about it. Still makes it funny though. People like that, the outrage when people found out parts of Top Gear was scripted. Of course it's bloody scripted. If you think that all of that stuff happened by accident, then you're an idiot. I still love the show. Even after finding out it was scripted, I still love the show. It's just the genius of the script that makes it funny, and the three of them together are a really good trio. It's like when you find out that Clarkson in real life isn't a complete wanker. They just play they play exaggerated versions of themselves and do it very, very well. What I really loved was when, during the Top Gear days, they would host their own shows as well. So James like Cars for the People and James May's Big Ideas and James May's Man Lab and anything else with James May in the title. Clarkson had, before Top Gear even, he had a show called Inventions That Changed the World, which even now I still go back and rewatch those episodes. And Hammond had shows like Engineering Connections, and there was the one where they were trying to build a replica of planet Earth, which was really weird. Total Wipeout, I used to love Total Wipeout. Awesome show. I like the fact that even though they were basically doing their own thing, they still reference Top Gear in each other all the time. I just used to love that. Where's Edmonton? That's in Canada. Yeah. Can I sign you? Oh, what's your wages? Okay, don't think... We could afford the transfer fee, but I don't think we'll be able to afford anything else. Oh yeah, Zola Sanya climbed down from his ivory tower yet. Let's find out. Loan list. Oh, who else was up at? Oh yeah. So we got Joe and Gessen. Free agent. You are joking. So he used to play for Stevenage. I think he scored for Stevenage at one point. Did he? Maybe not. It's hard to keep track because during that time at Stevenage, we'd have a striker who would join us. Let me show you another one. They would join us. The signing would be announced during the pre-match warm-up that they'd signed for us, and they were in the starting lineup. They would play 1 or 2 matches, and then we would never see them again. So we never... Bloody hell, you're worth a lot of money. We never got attached to new players. There's a brilliant one. There was a striker called Taiwo Atieno. He played for us once against Shrewsbury. He then had a falling out with the assistant manager, punched him in the face, and we never saw him again. This is Okinaberhi, the guy I was talking about earlier. So he was at Dagenham, he joined Shrewsbury. This is where he played for us. And then you can see here was where he was told he wasn't good enough for us anymore. Scored 10 goals in 23 games, moved to the Vanarama Nationals, scored 7 in 30, 12 in 31, and then moved to Shrewsbury. Not good enough, my arse. Right. Who else was in that team? It was Joe and Gessen, Fajirio Kinaberhi, and Rodell Gordon, who we've already got. There's a couple of other youth players, most of which will probably be... Yeah, you're still at Orient in real life. I think you went to Newport. In fact, there it is. Mark McKee, Warren Point. This guy was good. He was tipped to be the next big player at Stevenage. Screw you, McKee. Who else? I'm trying to think of something. Oh, I can have another look at Constantinu. Really good finishing. Alright, one more match, and then we'll start wrapping up. So as soon as this stream finishes, I'll set up the poll. I won't tell you yet what games will be on the poll, but I think pretty much, let's say I put 3 games on the poll. 2 of them will be games that haven't been played as part of the quarantine streams, and the other one will be a returning game. I think I know which one that's going to be. I want to try and keep mixing these up trying to appeal to as many people as possible. I'm a little disappointed that the viewing figures aren't rising quite as I'd like. It's that difficult thing of, are these streams trying to attract new people, or are they just trying to entertain the existing people? I'd like for it to do a bit of both. But I do understand why someone wouldn't watch a channel for the first time during a 4-hour live stream. Hey, Joan Guesson joining on trial. If he's really good, I'll be desperate to try and sign him. Okay, you're not bad. You can play in a variety of positions. It's always worth trying to bring it... Oh, God. Yeah, stumbling block. It's always worth trying to bring in as many people as possible for these positions, because you just never know. He's not going to accept. Nope. Greedy bastard. No wonder you're unattached. I know another one. Claudio Afusu. You're at Royston. And also, Andronicus Giorgio. You're still at Stevenage. Huh. He's good though. I'm not disputing that. That's not why I'm scoffing. It's normally Stevenage have a habit of letting go good young players. Who have you got playing for you now? I started watching more autocompletes on YouTube during quarantine, already regretting it. Huh. What are some football teams that play year-round, not just from August to May? I mean, the MLS season ties in with the American football season, but there's no single team that plays all year round. You always play in your season. So even the English football season officially starts in July. That's when pre-season starts. 1st of July, pre-season training starts. Then you play like 5 or 6 friendlies, and then you go into the season proper in August, first week of August. I'm just having a look. So a lot of these are actual first-team players. I thought I said John Ruddy then. No, Jack Ruddy. Van Kooten, Carroll. You're not a centre-back. What are you doing playing centre-back? Nugent, Denton, Digby, Carter, List, Kennedy, Giorgio. They're all, apart from Ruddy, this whole thing here are current Stevenage players. Bakayoko isn't, but that's actually a good signing. They're in the National League though. Farman, El Abd, Wildin, Jackson and Ionton are all real Stevenage players as well, as is Cuthbert, Fernandez, Fielding, Redding. Wakefield isn't, he was on loan, so he must have rejoined. Parrott, Smith, Jellis, Draper, Newton and Rollinson all play for Stevenage in real life too. And even here, Moriarty, he's the captain I think of the under-18s at the moment. Townsend West, yeah, they kept a lot of their core squad in fact. I used to find autocompletes quite funny, not so much anymore. Some of them are fake, that's the problem. I don't mean like scripted fake, I mean literal fake. There'll be a fake name in the contacts and all sorts. Yeah, I can't afford you. I regret that already. So what have we got here? Jack Gould, centre back. I might put in a bid for you, you know. £1,000 is a lot of money for a club of our size, but he looks like a good player. I'll let PM negotiate it. I need to get into this last match. The pub quiz starts at 6, I believe, so I need to get downstairs before then. I was originally going to, because you can, but it's only the first 2,000 people I think that get to play. So I was going to do that, but it looks like I'm going to miss that because you have to do that by 5:45. So I'll piggyback on my brother's team or something, if he'll have me. Come on, game. Throw me in the match. Oh, you take preview. Nice. A lot of wingers. At least one of our fullbacks has plenty of promise. We have one good young English left back from Hatfield who has caught the eye. Local lad. An excellent group of players. No defensive midfielders, no attacking midfielders, and no wing backs. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So I don't get to see who they are yet, but I'm getting hints as to what they might be. So oh, hello, you're a good goalkeeper. So if I do lose my other goalkeeper, I could perhaps bring this guy in as a backup. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it's always exciting to see who's coming through. Some good young players coming through. Building on the success that the team is starting to have, particularly with players under the age of 20. Which even now, there are quite a few. And yeah, normally when I say final match of the stream, I end up losing. We're on quite a good unbeaten streak as well, so this could be squeaky. Let's see when the game loads. Any second now. Any second now. What's it doing? Is it rendering the players by hand or something? Nice cool drink in the heat. Right, here we go. So for the lineup, I'm going to put Weaver on the bench instead of Christoforou. And I'm going to put Masendo on the bench instead of Troop. And everyone else, I think I'm going to keep. Let's play ball. Nice pass to start off with. Good evasion. Good ball in. Good header. Oh. How awesome would that have been? That was what? 17, 18 seconds? We nearly had a goal to kick things off. So, is there anyone out there who could say that they've gotten into football from watching this stream? Or, you know, watching me stream Football Manager? Or are you all still non-converted? Free kick from them, plays it short. This is where you have a pressing forward. Look at that, Sadie straight in there. Fortunately for them, their guy played a good ball, but that's how you put them under pressure, force mistakes. Ooh, I thought that was going in. That wouldn't have been good. This first half has flown by. Goal kick for them again. Good header. Nice pass inside. Vincent on it now. Plays it safe to Tonks. Goes for the long ball over the top. Hello, hello. Oh, defender recovered. Is that not a clear-cut chance? Maybe we'll get a replay after this. Pament with the corner. Not a good header from Hamilton. Here it is. So I thought I thought Tonks had whiffed it here. The defender and the keeper had a bit of a breakdown in communication. Non-converted, still not keen, though I like watching it now. Fair enough. That is completely fair enough. It's not for everyone. Certain parts of the country prefer rugby to football anyway. Oh! What a chance that was. What a counter. That is why I play my wingers in those positions on set pieces. Look how fast we broke forward there. Do we get another replay of it? That's the question. No, we don't. Mustn't have been a clear enough cut of a chance. Their keeper is dropping everything right now. We are all over him. Oh, this gets a replay. It was a good ball from Messendo, to be fair. A half-decent header, but it was kind of straight down the keeper's throat. Second half. We've got some work to do. I should probably look at the assistant manager feedback at some point. Short range passing is appalling, but we are connecting most of our long passes. I thought short passes we were doing alright. Apparently not. Macintosh on for Pament. Must be a fitness thing. No, he's actually... Why has he been subbed? Sadie's moved to left wing. Macintosh playing up front. It's not what I'd have done. Still misplacing way too many short passes. Webb has been booked. Webb's come off, so that's fine. Vincent with the shot. Miles wide. Miles and miles and miles wide. Go on, Sadie. Go on, Sadie. Yes. Power ball forward. Is that a second yellow? I thought Hamilton just miscontrolled it there. That might be a second yellow, you know. He's off. I don't know. Personally, that might have been a bit harsh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Panel with that beautiful deft header again. I just called him Panel. His name's Pennell. Derp. There's such a high player turnover. Half the time I don't even bother learning their names. Pennell with a great header there. Again, that cross was nothing special, really. It just needed a bit of guidance, which is exactly what it got. So really well played. That was two-footed. He might be in trouble here, Messendo. Yep. That was a nasty looking tackle. He's going to get probably a 2-week fine for that. That was incredibly dangerous. Oh, I thought Pennell had done it again. I might get rid of Messendo. He keeps getting suspended. His head's gone. You could just see like the animation, the way he lunged in with both feet. You can break someone's leg doing that. Nice ball forward. Hamilton with good control. Finds Gordon. Bit of a risky pass that paid off. And a return straight back to him. Miscontrol. Oh, nice win back. Good cross. Vincent! What are you doing? You had a whole goal to aim for. You absolute moppet. Oh, you fool! What were you thinking? I think that's the worst miss I've ever seen on Football Manager. I'm going to have to clip that. How do I clip? How do I clip on Twitch? I thought there was a clip button somewhere. Oh, there is, but it's greyed out for some reason. When was it? 1:35 there or thereabouts. I missed a goal because of that. Who scored it? Hamilton. Who I didn't think had a good game. But there we go. Yeah, good finish. Bamboozled the keeper with it. Fair play. As you go up the leagues and eventually hit the Premier League, your team's net worth, revenue, expenses and similar will increase by about 3 orders of magnitude from where it is now. The money will, for sure. Like normally when you get promoted to the Premier League, your first transfer budget is about 50 million, and if you stay up, it probably goes up to about 80 million. Whereas right now my transfer budget is, I think, 100,000. Bloody hell. Radeon Gordon just scored a header. That's the kind of match we're in right now. Obviously, net worth goes up with your finances, so does the revenue, as the crowds get bigger. I feel like the way the crowd growth works in Football Manager isn't that realistic. So even when I was in the Premier League, I was only getting like 10,000 fans in a 30,000 seater stadium. There are enough people living in the local area here that if we got into the Premier League, we could probably attract about 50,000. But yeah, the reputation and stuff is already relatively high. We're on the ladder. And then yeah, expenses obviously go up as the wages go up. I wish that it was possible to have a player play for me every season until they retired. But it's just that the speed at which you get promoted, the turnover is so great. It's almost impossible. I think the most I've kept a player is Dinsmore and Parsons. Kept them for like 5-6 seasons at the start. But even then, you know, you give them less and less football as their ability drops, and then they start getting arsey about it, and then you basically, for the good of their career, if anything else, you have to let them go, which is really unfortunate. Right, end of stream, guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you for those taking part in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button on both streams if you're able to. That really would help me out. And share the channel. If you know anyone who likes football or likes sports in general, feel free to share the channel. It's always appreciated when people do that too. Besides that, drop some comments down below if you're watching this on playback with ideas, tactics, transfers, that kind of good stuff. What else? Hit the subscribe button and the follow buttons if you haven't done so already. You can also hit the subscribe button on Twitch if you so wish. That is entirely up to you. If you have your Amazon Prime sub point, here's a good place to drop it. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for the quick outro, but I'm going to miss the quiz otherwise. So yeah, thanks for everything. Stay tuned for the poll going up on Discord very, very shortly. Link is in the description on YouTube. And I'll see you all tomorrow, 3 PM, for the next stream. Take care, guys.